Hi, this is Dani. The channel is You and Me Living Free, and here I am driving through Colorado. I think I'm going to create a playlist for Colorado because it is so gorgeous. Look at that. I think that's the Arkansas River right there. Glorious Colorado. I love Colorado so much anyway, but I want to talk to you today about a couple of things, and that is, number one, the first time I used my pop-up tent. I'm going to show you that. And the second thing is I'm going to show you this awesome free campsite that I had, which is right outside of Salida, Colorado. Salida right here in the middle of the Rockies. And it was at about, I think, 8,000 feet above sea level. So it is very cool in the summertime. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. I went in from I-70 on the Kansas side to Colorado Springs to Royal Gorge onto Salida. So here we go. And today I'm going to test out my pop-up tent because here's the situation. It'll be the first time I'm ever even opening it. So this should be fun. Hopefully it's as easy as I think and hope it's going to be. So here's why I bought the tent is exactly this situation. I'm outside of Salida, Colorado, and I have an amazing BLM camping spot, but it is a Thursday morning, and I was here last night, and already there have been so many cars driving by to get to different camping spots and stuff. Here's the thing. When I was coming up this road, it's pretty rough, and there's been a lot of rain on and off here, and so even though people were telling me I could get by it in the van, I was a little concerned, and plus it was getting a little late. So I just stopped here, and once you see this view, you'll see why. Now I need the tent because I want to keep my spot, but I have to go into town. Why? For ice. Because I have a cooler, not a refrigerator. So ice is a little bit of the bane of my existence when I get in a situation like this. So I bought the pop-up so I can put the pop-up here so no one takes my spot as I go into town for a couple of hours, use internet, upload hopefully a YouTube video, and do some stuff. But here, I'm gonna literally turn my camera around and show you what I'm looking at when I look out my side window. So this is it. I'm still sitting right here on my bed, and this is the view I have. And it is literally like a 360. There are mountains. Oh, you can't see them very well because of a few clouds, but oh my God, it's the most gorgeous spot. There you can see them. This spot is so glorious. It's probably on my all-time top 5 or 7 spots that I have ever camped for free, and here it was right just to the northwest of Salida on iOverlander. It's called Shavano Mountain. That's how you'll find it. I'll show a picture of it in iOverlander here at the end, but let's get to the tent. So you can see the tent fits really easily right in the back of the van, right before the big door that opens up, right? You can see the size, judge for yourself whether it'll fit in certain spaces that you have. It's extremely lightweight. I did not use any instructions or anything for putting it together. There's none needed. You just have to figure out how to take off the strap that's holding it all together. So that literally took me like 1 minute, and you'll see it'll pop right out. I'll put the link in the description for the tent in case anyone needs one of these. There it goes. I felt like if I needed or wanted to, I could have comfortably slept inside here. I put a rock in there because it did come with tent poles or the little anchor things, but I didn't feel like tent stakes, but I didn't feel like driving them into the ground. So I just put a rock in there to keep the wind from blowing it away. Woohoo! So once that objective was accomplished, I needed to take down my window coverings, which is literally the only other thing I have to do before I hit the road. I have come to just appreciate a really simple setup and tear down. I don't want a bunch of things. All this equipment is in my list on Amazon, my little store on Amazon. You can get the Very simple, just those magnets, and then the mesh works really easy for my window coverings. It's no muss, no fuss. So gotta love that. So I was at the library trying to upload a video for YouTube, and I forgot there was a slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. People on my BLM area have said that when it rains, it can get really bad there. As you can imagine, just we're on a mountain, so everything's sliding down. Not only does it create ruts in the road, but it can make it really tough for when it's actually raining. It gets slick and stuff. So not very excited right now to go back and see how this is, but fingers crossed. Starting to sprinkle. I'm still about 3 miles away, so we'll see. I think that's our mountain over there. We'll see. Okay, only 1.3 miles to go. This is where the dirt road starts. This is another reason that it's good to sometimes just park in one of the first slots when you get to BLM. Like I said before, the road was getting, had some deep crags and some kind of big rocks, and so I just pulled over pretty early on the road. And times like these, I'm really glad that I did. I always felt like, well, I could come back later and drive up and find a better spot if I want to, but for now, this is good, and I'll just stay here and be safe, right? And so that's what I did, and right now I'm really glad that I did. So let's drive this mile. This is the easiest part of the road. There's a couple of spots where you really need to pick your line very carefully so you don't bottom out if you're in a minivan, but otherwise, the road's in decent condition, but it's pretty rough. Anyway, we're not actually on the mountain. We're just on this ridge between a couple of different mountain ranges, so that's good that we're not climbing all the way up there. Anyway, I'll give you another update when we get closer. This section gives you a better idea how the road actually was. The camera just tends to even and level everything out a lot. You can tell by how much the van is moving. And then this is an area where you could easily bottom out if you didn't pick the right place to go. But you really can't see the depth of any of that as we're driving. But you can tell by the way the van is kind of bumping around. You can gives you kind of an idea. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to pick up my tent and try to stow it before it gets too wet. So, yay, I'm so happy to be back here, and I don't have to leave for 2 days. I'm full of ice, and my event starts in a couple days, so I'm here for the duration. Yay! Okay, that was like a comedy of errors trying to get that thing in my mind. You saw how easy it was to open up. In my mind, I'm just like, I'll pull everything together and swirl it around and get it all back. I tried following the directions and I couldn't really make sense of them. I'm not very good at following directions. What I probably need to do is watch a YouTube video that shows it. But I did get it folded all back in a loop. But it is in one big circle that I was able to get back in the kind of trunk area in the far back. I could have just left it out, but when I left for town, I wasn't counting on a lot of wind, so I just put a rock inside, and I didn't want to spike it down and then deal with the fact that it's going to be all drenched tomorrow morning, So anyway, you can tell I'm no experienced camper or anything. All the challenges and issues that I have with the littlest things. But that just needed a little more research on my part. I'm convinced it's going to be a great tent for me. It's going to be really useful and everything. And I didn't have to worry about anybody taking my spot, which is the main thing. But needed to do a little better research. And if I was one of these planned and prepared people, I would have popped it up, put it back, popped it up, put it back at home where I had all the time in the world and the indoor space and everything. I would have done all that. But If you've been watching me, you know I'm not a very big planner. I plan when I have to, and I kind of plan to, not get in trouble and stuff, but on the little stuff especially, I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl than I am a planner. So sometimes it bites me in the butt, but hey, we still got what we needed and everything is still fine. So again, here is the listing from iOverlander that I promised you, Shavana Mountain. From this BLM spot, we are looking at a bunch of 14,000 foot peaks. That is why we are at like 8,000 or 8,400 in Salida, and you still have quite a ways to go up to get to some of these peaks. That's just one of the things that makes this location so completely 100% amazing. Here's another kind of 360 view of the campsite. Just gorgeous. So lucky to be here. And I want to tell you, when you look at this on iOverlander as well, they have a red paragraph that says they cannot verify that this is open, that this is okay to park here. And I'm telling you, I was here. I read the signs. You're good here for 14 days, regardless of what iOverlander has to say. I've been having some trouble with them lately. I don't know what their deal is, but anyway, you can't really believe that. It was perfect. And I would have skipped this site if I wasn't in a Facebook group and was talking to people who were literally there at the time and were telling me how great it was. I would have skipped it because I saw that on iOverlander. So again, we're saying trouble with them, go to other resources. On a bright note, here's my egg salad sandwich that I made on toast, and it was phenomenal. Anytime you can eat, have your door open and look out onto a view like that, I mean, what are you really going to complain about? I feel silly complaining about anything. And so I would just want to thank you for being here. If you are still here, you deserve a medal. I'm sending you a ton of love and sending a ton of love to my patrons on Patreon. You can join us there for as little as $3 a month. Very good bargain. We have some fun over there, and I am in real time over there, so you don't have to wait a couple weeks after the fact to find out all that is going on, where I am and what is happening. So anyway, I'm sending you a ton of love, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.